SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
I'll pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll A, fade up on A.
Southern Miss to the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. The Friday SuperTalk Eagle Hour Roadshow continues. We're at Century First Federal Credit Union on Hardy Street today. They've opened up a brand new facility right next door to the building we're in. We're going to be talking to John Harmon, the CEO of Century First Credit Union, here in a little bit. They're huge Southern Miss supporters, and we'll be telling you more about that. Dima Mixon and Graham Crawford with me. The first time I've had these two guys together, and man, that's a good-looking pair sitting right there. Makes me feel old.
Well, he's a lot better looking than me.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
No.
I'm over here wiping my eyes because all the
Maybe we
rag
should take a picture, and then we can do a poll.
Yeah, I like that.
On
I like
the
that
Eagle
idea.
Hour face. Luke, who would you say is better looking, Graham Crawford or Dima Mixon? Luke Johnson's with us, by the way.
Well, Luke precedes us all.
Kelly
for
Sanders,
sure.
I would say, without a
That,
doubt.
I was about to say it. I was saying our main
God.
guys
We do not.
here who would win that.
Luke Johnson needs no introduction to this audience. He's a very dear friend, a longtime co-host of the show. And Luke, before we get into it, let listeners that may not know where you are now and what you're doing, and I don't want them to think you left mad. You just you took a new chapter in your life.
Yeah, guys, great to be on with you today. I am sitting in my office right now in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a assistant professor of missions at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, finished up PhD in May. And that's the reason why I left the show in summer of 2024 was to hammer down and write my dissertation so that I could graduate. And, serving down here now and living in the city, enjoying New Orleans and preparing the next generation of church leaders and missionaries. So we're having a good time.
Well, there you go. Good stuff, Luke. All right, man. You're a member of the M Club Hall of Fame, a former really outstanding player for the Golden Eagles. Give me a quick eval of what you saw Saturday and why you think Southern Miss fans ought to be encouraged in the face of an opening season defeat.
Well, I mean, it was a real fun first half. Some tense moments, some stops. Eagles were able to run the ball. I thought the offensive line pass protected well, and you saw some glimpses of what Jeffrey Pittman can do in the backfield, and of course what our quarterback can do with his arms and legs. Braxton is preseason player of the year for a reason. It really came down to me, in the third quarter. You have 4 possessions, right at 5 minutes, over 4 possessions, punt, pick, punt, and the defense just was on the field so much in the second half, particularly the third quarter. And that's where, some of the depth started to emerge. But you could definitely tell that there is a fresh wind in the Eagles' sails. We have some talent on the line. We have some talent at the skill positions. And we have a quarterback with 4 years of college experience. And that I felt great after watching, the first half about what this team can do going forward.
Yeah, Luke, and something about those drives was that Mississippi State, I think they were all under 3-minute scoring drives. So not to mention that the offense wasn't able to keep the defense off the field. When the defense was on the field, it was almost like a knife through butter when Mississippi State was driving it down the field on those 3 drives.
They were, and you could take that the first touchdown was just a slip in the secondary, early. But, in the third quarter, they were mixing a lot of offensive line in there. We were trying to mix our defensive line, but I mean, I feel really good about that. The first string defensive line. I mean, they held their own, and like I mentioned, they had some key stops. But yeah, I think you saw the millions and millions of dollars of NIL, and Coach Huff alluded to that, in the second half. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We were able to move the ball in the first half, and probably should have got a touchdown after the quick change with the interception. You look back on that, and perhaps you got a lead at halftime.
What do you think is we go into the next week right here at Jackson State? What do you see kind of the differences between the two teams? I mean, of course, you've got the SEC versus the SWAC, but there's two in-state teams. This is a big week for Southern Miss. What do you see the outcome of this game, coming to be?
Yeah, a lot of teams are doing this now. Typically towards the end of the year, you'll see week 11 of the regular season be where you have a FCS team or a lower FBS team, and a lot of teams are scheduling a marquee game in week 1 and then scheduling another opponent like that in week 2, and that's essentially what the Eagles have done, where you're going to get a challenge. I mean, this is a top, they're 14th in the FCS right now, so they're a very good FCS team. The key is to be even keel. You don't play up to your opponent. You don't play down to your opponent. You just play who you are. And so tomorrow is an opportunity for the offense to get some confidence, to put up some numbers, to break some big runs. I think a big there's been a challenge, I would assume, this week. If there was one position offensively that I want to see a little more fight in, it's in the wide receivers. I thought the tight ends looked pretty good, but I would like to see wide receivers fight for the ball a little more, and I think tomorrow will give them an opportunity to do that. And I think you'll see this offense. You'll be able to see what Braxton can do, and so they need some confidence. There's a lot of things they can build off of with week 1. Get some confidence tomorrow going into conference play week 3 against App.
You mentioned it, Luke, 14th ranked FCS opponent. Jackson State is different than a southeastern Louisiana Grambling State coming into town. This is a top-tier FCS opponent. In a lot of seasons, they could qualify as an FBS level opponent, considering the size they have on both lines. Explain to our listeners why this team is better than your typical FCS opponent.
Well, I mean, one thing, there really hasn't been any letdown since Dion went to Colorado. I mean, the coach now was a guy who he wanted to lead that program. They have a very, very passionate fan base. They're going to fill the rock tomorrow. They're happy to be there, and it's the same way. I mean, they're coming into Hattiesburg. They circled this game on their schedule. When the first time it was scheduled. They're coming into an in-state FBS opponent, and they're going to play well. They've also what is it, guys? How many have they won in a row? It's like 10 or 11 that they've won in a row.
11, and 11. They won. Yeah, 11, and then they won the HBCU championship last year. Yeah,
so they're a team that certainly believes in what they're doing, and it's the same staff there. So This is a game, again, you don't play down. The Eagles have to just execute their game plan, and that's what you need to look at tomorrow night. Don't turn the ball over. Control, dominate the line of scrimmage. I do think we will see some ground game action tomorrow of what this team's capable for going forward. And I was a little surprised last week that there were some design runs by Braxton. I know he had to run. I do think we will see some more of his legs being involved in this game to free up some stuff in the passing game and the running game.
Hey, look, not to look past anybody, and I know the team's not going to look past Jackson State, but do you agree, Dima and I and Graham and Kelly have all been saying that really the pivotal game, the game that's really going to show us how different things are from last year, will be the game next week when Appalachian State comes here?
It will, but just to go back, I mean, you do the things that you want to do in week 3 because you show yourself mentally and physically that you're able to do them in week 2. There were things that we did and almost did last week, and then week in order to execute that and get confidence to week 3. So you're not looking past anything. You're viewing this game as a standalone game, one game at a time, but you want your players to feel confident that what's called in the huddle they can execute on the field so that walking into conference play, there's no doubt in their mind that they can win.
Early line on App State Southern Miss is App State -9 coming into the Rocks.
Really?
So 9-point favorites for the Mountaineers.
That's surprising.
But, Luke, I guess going back to Jackson State real quickly before we run out of time, I was looking at their line, their offensive line, versus Mississippi State's offensive line, and they had 2 players who were bigger than State's offensive line, but I guess the key difference is their second and third string is not going to be as good as, obviously, the Bulldogs were.
Yeah, I'm tempted to see I want to see tomorrow how our second O-line and second D-line compete.
Right.
Particularly the second D-line, because you're going to need them as we go into conference play.
Yep.
Luke, give me 2 players, one on the offensive side, one on the defensive side, that you're looking at to really make an impact.
Kyron Heath, got to get him involved. Want to see what he can do. And then I think on defensively, Montgomery, the middle linebacker, super excited about him and watching him mature as a Golden Eagle.
Hey, Luke, always great to have you on the show. It's like having family back home. You've got an open invitation here, my brother, and talk to you again really soon.
Appreciate it, guys. To the top. We'll see you.
There we go. Luke Johnson, everybody. The great Luke Johnson.
The great, who destroyed Kelly in that beignet eating contest.
He absolutely ate him up. No pun intended.
No pun intended. That's
when
right.
we come back, Patrick Magee, sports editor of the Times-Picayune, is going to join us.
Do we have to do Patrick?
And Dima is very excited about the rattlesnake that's going to be starting at quarterback. More from
Can I skip this segment?
Century First. No, you cannot. Century First Federal Credit Union next.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
Southern Miss to the top. To the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, the SuperTalk Eagle Hour is on the road again today. We're at Century First Federal Credit Union here in Hattiesburg, Hardy Street. We're in the old building. They've just opened up a new administrative building next door, which is really a gorgeous addition to Midtown. John Harmon is the president and CEO of Century First, and he's going to be joining us in the next segment to tell us everything that's in store for this wonderful part of the Hattiesburg business community. All right, we want to catch up with our buddy Patrick Magee. This is like New Orleans Day. He's the sports editor of the Times-Picayune, but is actually up in the D.C. area today and still graciously agreed to come on the show. And, Patrick, I got to tell you, my man Dima Mixon here has been waiting with bated breath to talk to you about Spencer Rattler. So go right ahead, Dima. Don't let me get in the way of your excitement.
I'm trying to catch my breath. You said bated breath. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Patrick, I guess I wanted to ask you about last night's game. We were talking about it off air, a lightning delay in the Cowboys-Eagles. I don't know if I've ever remember a lightning delay in an NFL game.
Oh, I mean, it happens, but it just seems like it happens a lot more in the college game than anywhere else. I don't know why. Mainly because I just don't know. But, yeah, it is a little bit unusual on the NFL side to see it happen, mainly because most of the season is played outside of, severe, afternoon weather, stuff like that. In the fall, it's less of a threat. So, but yeah, it was a little weird.
Well, what did you think of the Eagles or the Cowboys? I mean, They didn't look
I wish
overly
I had
impressive.
I was in bed early last night to catch an early flight.
Oh, there you go.
There was a huge light and thunder weather delay, so I didn't catch much of the game. But I remember getting in an Uber this morning and they said, "Oh, did you see the guy spit in the guy's face?" So it's pretty obvious that the spit that heard around the world was what everybody was talking about this morning.
Yeah, there's a lot of love between Dallas and Philadelphia. You could just see it on the field last night before the game even started.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick, I will say this about that game last night, though. Both quarterbacks, I thought, played really well. I thought Dak Prescott, coming off of the injury he suffered, played really well.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it because that's probably the only time you'll see him all season.
But, Patrick, how good is the quarterback play going to be when the black and gold take the field Sunday, you think?
If I had to bet, maybe a little bit better than so-so. I just not very big on so-so. Spencer Rattler. I don't. He's got to go out there and not make mistakes and really just kind of get the ball to the playmakers. Kamara, Olave, Shaheed, get the tight end involved. Juwan Johnson. It's all. Can he be the point guard? Can he be the guy that really just distributes the ball and doesn't make the mistakes? Obviously the offensive line's got to hold up its end of the bargain. That's probably one group I'm really interested to see how it plays. I think it seems like Trevor Penning has made progress returning from his injury at left guard, but at this point it seems that he's probably not going to play in the season opener. He's still dealing with I think what was turf toe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's TBD. But if they protect Rattler, it's just a matter of him getting the ball to the people that need it.
You think he can see over the line?
Well, if Drew, he's the same height as Drew Brees, so I would say that if Brees always
you can't compare
Brees was always on his tiptoes, and his nose point is the top of the Superdome, so he knew how to do it. So I don't expect that to be a huge issue.
I'm thinking we probably shouldn't be comparing Spencer Rattler to Drew Brees. Is that a fair statement, Patrick?
No, we shouldn't. I mean, they're pretty much the same size, and that, maybe similar athletically.
That's the only thing.
That's where it ends, right, Patrick?
That's where it ends.
Well, they're about the same height.
All right, Patrick Magee, a realistic expectation for the Dema Mixons of the world who want to see the Saints back in the Super Bowl. What is a realistic expectation out of this team?
I think really the best this team can hope for is getting close to 500, clearing 500. If you do that, you're kind of in the mix to get one of those last spots in. But that's the best you could do. I mean, this team, in all likelihood, I think we're looking at somewhere in the vicinity of a 5-win season, which I guess they won 5 games last year. But the NFL is unpredictable. If any team really can stay healthy throughout the course of the season, they have a chance to compete, and the Saints have not been remotely healthy the last few years. Chase Young, it appears he's going to be out for Sunday's game. He's dealing with another injury. It just seems like he's constantly injured. But if they can figure out a way to keep the core of the offensive line on the field for most of the season, I think the Saints can maybe get close to 500. But that's kind of the ceiling.
You're exactly right about Chase Young, and I started following him when he was playing for the Redskins. How can a man that is such a beast, and this dude is a beast physically, how can he stay injured so much, Patrick?
Well, maybe he's almost got too much muscle. There's been plenty of guys that are just look great getting off the bus, and oh my gosh, he's in great shape. He looks powerful, but that doesn't mean he's great, that doesn't mean he can dominate the guy in front of him. And for Chase Young, the big question mark has just always been injuries, and it's popping up again for him.
Yeah, and he had a history of that, obviously, in college with Ohio State as well. But, Patrick, I guess, is it kind of weird in a sense of that the fact that they drafted Tyler Shuck, or however you say his name, second round, right? And he's not even going to be the starting quarterback.
No, I think it wasn't really. It's not really a surprise to people that follow the team. We knew there was a chance that Rattler was still going to be the starter at the beginning of the season. Just because Shuck's on the sideline right now doesn't mean he's not going to play this year. I think Rattler kind of outplayed him slightly during a little bit during preparations, and And if you look at the play during preseason games, I think it was pretty even. And Rattler just had that year under his belt, So they can put him out there. He's got experience. Maybe you see progress from year 1 to year 2 in Rattler. And so, yeah, I mean, I think everybody sees that Shuck has the higher ceiling as a player, but right now it's more safe to put Rattler out there in the season opener.
Come on, Damon, you got to get on the Rattler bandwagon here, man. I need to see some enthusiasm from you.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Graham, are you a Saints fan?
Not really.
No?
I like the Saints, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I like whoever's on my fantasy team.
There you
I like
go.
players
Same.
more than teams in the NFL.
Patrick, before we let you go, because I know you're on your personal time, you're talking about the Saints maybe being 500. What is the weakness? If there's one weakness in this team, what would you say it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's depth across the board, really at all positions. It's a result of kind of coming up short in drafts and just making some poor decisions along the way. I mean, the starting 11 on both sides are going to be okay, but if one or two guys go down, it's going to be really tough. I mean, the Saints were off to 2-0 start last year. They can make a run, and then they have one crucial injury on the offensive line at McCoy, and things just fall apart. I don't think they're quite as thin on the offensive line. I don't think they're quite as thin on the offensive line as they were a year ago, but still, they can't afford one or two injuries there.
Why is that? Is it the Jerry Jones factor of he's the owner and the GM, or is it coaching? Is it, what part of it?
Well, no, it goes to the general manager, the guy making decisions on, how the rosters, ever since, the Saints had a great draft in 2017, and basically every year since then, they've had a fair amount of misses through the draft process, including Isaiah Foskey, guys like that. They probably drafted some quarterbacks along the way they shouldn't have drafted. Jake Hayner. They really should have invested in other positions like the offensive line when they wasted some picks on quarterbacks and other positions. So it's just it all adds up over the time, and they just have made some misses in the draft.
You're not a huge Mickey Loomis fan, are you, Patrick?
No, I mean he deserves credit for the success the team has had, through the early stages of the Payton era and into that. He made a lot of right calls, but sometimes the league changes, or suddenly you just kind of lose your mojo. And I think Mickey Loomis hasn't really had his mojo in about 7 years.
How you find that mojo?
How do you find it?
If I knew where to find it, I'd be making a lot more money. So I don't have the answer.
All right, Patrick's up in the D.C. area. Any chance you're having dinner with the president tonight, Patrick?
No. I think we're going to go to some little neighborhood restaurant and have dinner later. That's nothing exciting, believe me.
Capitol Grill.
Well, I'm doubting Mr. Trump is going to show up there.
Seriously,
so,
if you get a chance, stop by Capitol Grill.
Yeah, Capitol Grill's really good.
In D.C.
Did you hear that? That is our eating advice here on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour.
That's all that really people
our
care
culinary division of the program, Patrick. We're sharing that with you.
Okay, I'll take it under consideration.
All right, buddy. Thank you for joining us when you're on your free time. We'll look forward to talking to you every week about the Saints.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Patrick Magee, everybody, sports editor of the Times-Picayune. Before we hit the break, tell me about your alma mater last night. I hear it's pretty exciting down at Pearl River.
Oh, yeah, what a game.
They scored on the last play of the game.
Last play of the game to come back. Here's the crazy part. 41-13 at half. They came back.
Wow.
They fell behind, didn't they?
Pearl River was ahead by 3 touchdowns, and come out of half, they put up 20-21 in the third quarter.
So Pearl River had to score on that last drive.
They had to figure something out real quick.
They were going to blow that big lead.
Sure were.
All right, when we come back, we're hoping that John Harmon will join us. He is the president and CEO of Century First Federal Credit Union on Hardy Street. That's where we're at today, the SuperTalk Eagle Hour on the road. Looking forward to speaking to Mr. Harmon next.
The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
I want to thank Luke Johnson and Patrick Magee for coming on the show today as we're broadcasting live from Century First Federal Credit Union here in Hattiesburg on Hardy Street, and appreciate Patrick very much. He started out on this show 10 years ago when we started, and now we're proud to say every week he is the sports editor of the Times-Picayune in New Orleans, so that's quite a good job for him, and we're grateful that Patrick stays with us even though he has so much responsibility now. All right, I'm going to tell you something else, listeners, that I'm really happy about today. This man that we're about to introduce, I met him several years ago through business, and one of the great things about what I do for a living is meeting people like John Harmon and becoming friends with him. He's the president and CEO of Century First Federal Credit Union. I've been trying for years to get you on the show, and I want to thank you for letting us come down here to your credit union here, broadcast our program, and most of all, for you to come on the show. Thank you.
Well, glad to be able to join you, Bob. Really am. And it's a shame it's taken this long to get me on here. It's nobody's fault but my own, because you've definitely tried.
There we got that good-looking Southern Miss shirt on, Dima, and everywhere you look in Century First Credit Union, you see Golden Eagles stuff. This company has been a massive supporter of Southern Miss athletics. I know that the credit union is a member of the Circle of Champions.
We are. Which
is the biggest investment that you can make in Southern Miss athletics. And John, why has that been so important to you?
Well, actually, the credit union was started in 1956 by a group from USM. And we've gone along for all of the years, but, supporting USM, the impact that it has on financial institutions, the impact it has on the community. It's Hattiesburg. Think where Hattiesburg would be if it wasn't for USM. USM is the driving force it has been for so many years, and it's attracted, so many different businesses and industries. It's just a great university.
Yeah. You and I have had a lot of conversations, and I know that you're a big admirer of Scott Berry.
Oh, gosh, Scott Berry is wonderful.
Yeah.
He really is. And, Southern has been very fortunate, not only with Scott Berry, of course, Joyce Nichols. You look at the quality of coaches that they've had, going back football, baseball, basketball. We've had great coaching.
Right.
And long-term coaches. And one of the things I told Scott Berry many times when I got to know him, if he was at Mississippi State with the resources that they had, he could have done for State what Skip Bergman did for LSU.
That's pretty high praise.
Very high praise.
And, he's just a super guy. Matter of fact, we'll see him in a few weeks when they do the golf tournament. I'll go play in that with him.
And I think you are right about what you said, and I think Coach Berry elevated a program to the nationals level it's at now with a fraction of the resources that teams he competes against regularly and won against had.
Oh, no, definitely. There's no question about that. Just the individual that he is. Not only is he a great coach, he's a great Christian man, but you talk to the players that play for him. Just the impact that they have on those lives of those young men is tremendous.
And I've told you that. I know it's no surprise to you. He was so kind to me in some difficult moments of my life when I lost my mother and some other things like that. He's an amazing person. So I'm going to tell you what else is amazing is Century First Federal Credit Union. Recap what you just told Dima and I about the growth of this institution.
Well, I started working with the credit union about 12 years ago. We had about $22 million in assets, one office. We've now got 9 offices, about $145 million in assets. We've been able to grow our equity from $1.4 million to about $19 million. So we're a very substantial institution now, very stable. We've done some mergers. All the mergers that we have done, they have contacted us. We don't go out and solicit mergers. If it's a good fit, we do it. We've had others that credit unions have asked us about merging it. We didn't feel like it was a good fit, so we haven't done it.
Right.
But it's got to be a fit for not only us, but their members too. Growth for the sake of growth is not good. Growth to help people. And what I love about credit unions, and I was a banker for, over 30 years before I left the dark side and came to work for a credit union, is we still do things to help people. We're one-on-one. We're not strictly numbers. We make loans that your typical commercial banks will never look at. But, I charge also higher than a lot of commercial banks as a result of that, because we do try to help people that truly in need. Bank's not going to make a small loan. We make loans, I like to say $300 is our minimum loan size. A bank's not going to do anything for way more than that. But, we'll let somebody overdraw their account, if they need to, for emergencies. You'd be surprised. And you may not, but how many people live paycheck to paycheck? They literally cannot survive if they have a flat tire.
Right.
I had somebody call me earlier this week. Was having a grandchild, had missed a couple of days of work last week. Their paycheck was short. Needed $100 for gas to get to Jackson. Well,
so you're not going to get that at a bank.
We'll do those things.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fair to say that everybody, if they're honest, at one point of their life, needed some financial help, and credit unions provide that financial help for working folks that otherwise may not be there. Is that fair to say?
That's a good statement. It really is. Yes, sir.
Now, you've just made an enormous contribution to Midtown Hattiesburg. You guys have just built a gorgeous facility right next door to your existing credit union that's been here for a long time. Tell us about that.
All right, what we did, actually, we just started designing it several years ago. It's an operations center, an administrative building. It's strictly a back office accounting. I'm in there. My VPs of accounting and operations, card services, collections, just to support the operations. Before we built that building, we were scattered at 3 different locations, so it pulls us all in together. And we wanted to be in this area. We could have built, frankly, a lot cheaper if we hadn't done it in Midtown area, but it's where we are. It's part of the university. It's part of Hattiesburg.
At one time, wasn't the credit union, it was Southern Miss Federal Credit Union.
It was Southern Miss. It was University of Southern Mississippi Federal Credit Union. It was Southern Mississippi. We dropped the name University off when we had done a merger. Former president thought it was confusing to have university in the name. So we dropped the name and just dropped university off and stayed Southern Miss. And then when we did a merger in Jacksonville Credit Union, Middle Transporters Federal Credit Union there, we changed the name to Century First because Southern Mississippi didn't play. And now we've got offices in Senatobia, South Haven, and Olive Branch. So obviously Southern Mississippi
is not
would
playing well.
Not there.
That's right. I guess just talk our listeners through your business model with the credit union if I want to come and be a part of it.
Okay, you have to join a credit union. You either, unlike a bank that can take anybody, you have to either be an employer group or a group of association like a church or an underserved area. So if you live, work, worship, or attend school in a certain area, you can join. So membership is restricted. Now, we're able to accept deposits from pretty much anybody. I like to say credit unions offer the same services as commercial banks, and that is true for the larger credit unions, but it's not true for all of them. In Mississippi, you've got a credit union now, only one less now that's got less than $1 million in assets. So all they offer is some small unsecured loans and a savings account. We pretty well offer all the traditional services you're going to get at a bank. We don't do brokerage service. We don't sell insurance other than insurance to protect a loan, credit, life, accident, and health. But other than that, pretty much any service you can get from a bank we can do.
But if I want to buy a car or a boat or a motorcycle,
we do it all.
You do all that.
When what we try to do is anything that a member need. In credit unions, we call them members because unlike a bank, we don't have stockholders. So if you're a member of the credit union, you got a shared deposit account, you're an owner of the credit union. So if you've got an account with $25 in it, I got an account with $1,000 in it, you and I have equal ownership, unlike a bank stockholder. So we're not as much about making profit. We have to make a profit to grow and survive.
Sure.
And also we pay back dividends. We're in the process now of paying, probably going to pay out a dividend, what we'd call a patron's dividend to our members, so they just get some money back.
I got you. Well, that's always
That's
a good
great.
thing.
Yeah.
That's always a good
Money
thing.
in the pocket don't hurt anybody.
That's the truth. That's
Now,
the truth.
you have 9 locations, but real quickly, clearly you're investing a lot of money in Hattiesburg, right?
Definitely,
next door.
Hattiesburg is a hub.
That went by too fast.
I know. I didn't even realize that we were all the way out of town.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
We
Appreciate it.
greatly value your friendship and your business, and all Southern Miss fans should remember that Century First Federal Credit Union supports Southern Miss athletics.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bob.
We'll be right back.
Thank y'all.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour. The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
Hey, welcome back. The Southern Miss Eagle Hour, not the Golden Eagle Hour. The Southern Miss Eagle Hour is at Century First Federal Credit Union here on Hardy Street. And guys, you just met one of the finest people that SuperTalk does business with. He truly is a good man, and they do a lot of promotion for Southern Miss. All right, for the first time, we're fixing to get Graham Crawford involved in football picks.
There we go.
And we're going to see how knowledgeable he actually is.
Here we go.
It's not baseball now, Graham.
A little bit different.
Not baseball. All right,
All right.
Damon Mixon runs this show, so let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, so what we normally do is pick 2 national games and then 3 Sun Belt games. So for the Sun Belt games, we got an interesting one here. Tulane, the Green Wave, on the road at if my phone will load here. Excuse me. Yeah, Tulane on the road at South Alabama. So South Alabama is a 13-point underdog to the Green Wave. Who do you got, Graham?
Tulane covers the spread at South Al. I think it's going to be a tight game till late, and then they're going to take over.
There you go. I don't really feel like South Alabama is that good this season.
They're not what they normally are.
Right. So I think Tulane will take care of business.
Yeah,
there.
Tulane's good.
Tulane is good.
Don't underestimate
Consistently good.
Yeah, Tulane wins that easy.
Okay. Georgia Southern on the road at USC. 28-point underdogs.
Let me think about this for just a minute.
I'm going to take USC's team total. Team total. That's what we're going to rock with because I think they're going to put up 55 points.
I think that's going to be oogly, as they used to say. Yeah.
What about Texas State on the road at UTSA? Now, that should be a good game. In-state rivalry. So 3.5-point favorites for the Roadrunners.
I've actually been to the Roadrunners field years ago. But Texas State's not just an outstanding club this year from what I can understand. I think UTSA at home takes them to the woodshed.
I agree. And I'll tell you what, both of you guys, that's going to be That may not be two nationally marquee teams, but that's going to be a head knocker. You can be sure
it's
about
that. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
UTSA really battled well against Texas A&M last week. I think they only lost 42-24.
I like Texas 8-4.
Yeah.
I like UTSA.
Yeah, I think UTSA will win
That's
as well.
Texas A&M's name for me. They're going to go 8-4 every single year, and it doesn't matter, good, bad. They can be preseason number one or preseason not ranked. They're going to go 8-4.
Or spend $60 million on a roster.
Right, that's right.
They're going to go 8-4.
All right.
Arizona State at Mississippi State.
That's
tomorrow night,
that's
6:30. Mississippi State's a 6.5-point underdog.
Graham?
Who do we got?
That's tough. And here's the reason it's tough. I'm not a Mississippi State fan at all. I grew up an Ole Miss fan, so as you can tell, I don't really like State. But I do think them, after watching them here, the physicality that they have, I think Mississippi State's going to win that game.
I like them, too, and I think they're going to be better than people thought they were going to be. They're big and strong, man.
I'm taking Arizona State. I think they're a better football team overall. I don't think State is that good.
I think Arizona State is the better football team, but I think Arizona State coming down to South Mississippi.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
might be in for a rough night.
Little different.
Michigan at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 4.5-point favorite.
Well, I'm kind of a Boomer Sooner fan. My son got one of his degrees from Oklahoma, and so I like the Sooners.
4.5-point favorites?
Yeah, over Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Oklahoma. All day.
I'm taking Oklahoma.
All day.
I think Oklahoma will win that game. All right, Southern Miss, Jackson State. There is the only line that I could find, because it's an FCS opponent, was Southern Miss minus 16.5. So
if I were a betting man,
touchdowns.
if I had the money you two guys have and I could afford to bet, I would. I think I'd take that. I
would too.
I'd give up the points.
So what's your score prediction for Southern Miss, Jackson State?
I told you earlier, I think 45-7.
I think it'll be 45-14.
I said 38-10.
You want to change that a little bit?
I would not.
You would not?
I do think it could be something like 17-3 at halftime. I think it'd be decently close to start.
I think it could be somewhat close for the first, but I envision the same thing I watched in reverse.
No doubt.
Year. I really think Braylon Braxton is going to have a come-out game.
He needs
That's
it.
what I think. I think he's going to drop 400 yards.
I think you're right about
I think it's the best thing for Southern Miss tomorrow is to jump out of 28-0 in the first quarter.
Right.
Just to go ahead and get the losing streak out of the way, because they haven't won a game in a year, and go ahead and get the losing streak out of the way, and then take care of business tomorrow, and then next week is
it has been a
marquee.
year since they won a football game.
So Bob, they haven't beaten an FBS opponent in over a year. They didn't beat an FCS opponent. They beat an FCS opponent last year. That was their only win. So they haven't won an FBS game since 2023.
Things need to change.
Well,
I think they have. There we go. Yeah. Now we've got the new guy.
All right. Now, I know you didn't include this game, but I know what a Rattler fan you are. I want the prediction of the Saints and the Cardinals real quick.
Give me the Saints. I think the Saints win.
Marvin Harrison's going to have 3 touchdowns. Saints don't have a chance.
I think the Saints will win.
Where's the game?
It's in New Orleans.
Cardinals. All right, I want to thank John Harmon, Century First Federal Credit Union, for inviting us down here. It's a fun day, and we really like him a lot. It's great to have these two guys with me for a change. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll be back Monday, 1 o'clock. Recap of what we're going to see tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Hopefully we don't recap a loss. That'd be bad.
I can't wait to recap a huge win.
Until then, Southern Miss.
To the top.
To the sea. My spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.